lovely to be here.
Yeah, it's lovely to sit down with you.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like this is such an exciting time to sit down with you.
It really is.
It really is, and I think you can feel it, I think your fans can feel it, and I think the general public can feel it as well. We are filming this on the day of your album release, so
Yes.
in less than 9 hours' time,
I know.
it is going to be in people's hands.
Yes.
What's the feeling right now, and I guess how does today feel different than maybe a previous album release? Like what's going through the brain when it's about to be in people's hands?
It feels so relieving because I've put so much energy and so much love into this album, so that when it's finally out there in the world, it's like relief that like it didn't leak. You know what I mean? Right. And like relief that I don't know, it feels like a release to me in a literal and metaphorical sense. And I just couldn't be more excited. I'm so happy with the work that I put into this album. Everyone who collaborated with me on it was a dream, and so it feels like a celebration for all of us and my team. And so it's just like, it's like waking up on Christmas morning when you're 6 years old. That's what it feels like when I release an album.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well said. And a celebration is kind of a key word that I think has been thrown around a lot for you in this era. You've said this era is a celebration of the journey that brought me to where I am today.
Yes.
As someone who has watched your journey, and I don't remember a time where you weren't in the pop culture realm for people of my generation, it's clear, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're at a point where you're celebrating the whole journey. And you're embracing the old, you're embracing the new, you're embracing the good, the bad. I mean, from stunts like returning to the frozen yogurt store, or coming out on stage with the Jonas Brothers singing Camp Rock stuff, to making references to Poot and
Yes.
Disney knees, like things like that. Like, by doing that and by referencing these things, is it you owning it?
Yeah.
Is it you reclaiming it? Or is it you being like, F it, this is so iconic? Like, what is it to you?
I think it's a bit of owning it, but it's also realizing, I guess I didn't realize that I've done iconic things. And if they are like cringe to some people, they're fun to me. Like the Disney knees, they are iconic. And so it's like, it's a matter of like owning the fact that I've made an impact and claiming those moments. But also I think it's like making peace with my past. I haven't had the like, this era for me is, like you said, celebratory and fun. And I think this is the first time where I've ever really stepped into this chapter of my life where I'm like, I've made peace with my journey and now I'm celebrating where I'm at today. And you know, if that's celebrating memes that have gone viral for, you know, silly reasons, like I will own those memes because that's a part of making peace with my past. I used to like, for instance, the Poot meme, when it first happened, I didn't realize it was photoshopped. I thought it was a bad angle of me. So I like was really self-conscious about that meme and was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe people are laughing at a bad angle of me. And then I realized it was photoshopped and I was like, wait, this is actually hilarious. And even if it was a bad angle of me, why not laugh at it? You know what I mean? Life is too short to take yourself too seriously, and I'm definitely not doing that anymore. And so it's about reclaiming, you know, or owning my past and also just like having fun in the moment.
How did you get there to a moment where you realized that you could own it?
I think a lot of it, like I got on TikTok and I think seeing, like starting on social media again in this era of TikTok for me back in like January, I started seeing these moments that went viral of me and was like, wait, these are actually pretty hilarious. And like, and I have done some, you know, very memorable things. And I don't know, I think for me, it's just like engaging with my fans has helped me fall in love with the moments that I used to be maybe embarrassed of in the past. I now have a confidence in my life today that I've never had before. And I don't know how I got there. I think it's probably been years of therapeutic work. I've been in therapy a long time, and I found the love of my life. And we're married, and he helps me feel confident. He helps me, you know, live in the moment. And I think it's a combination of everything coming together, right? Like, it's just, it was, I don't know, it's just, it all came together, and I feel like I'm in a really, really great place today, and I think the album reflects that.
It really does reflect that. The album is a party.
Yeah.
I want to get to the album in a moment, but you've said that you're not taking yourself too seriously as an artist anymore. And I think that's refreshing to hear a pop star say. When you let go of those feelings, what does it unlock for you creatively?
I think there's something about your 30s, too, where you just take a second and you are able to let go of some of the pressures that you once put on yourself, maybe in your 20s. And now I'm 33, and I'm not taking myself so seriously because I realize there's room for everyone. It's not about like trying to write the most in-depth song or emotional song, or it's not about, you know, it's just about like, it's about owning where you're at and just loving yourself for you. And creatively, what it unlocks for me is spontaneity and taking risks and having fun and cherishing the moments that are like, this isn't like Kiss, for instance. It's not the most intellectually stimulating song. It's a simple party, fun song, and it's sexy, and it's like, that's what it is. And I think so much of my past was like, I want to try and write you know, deeply emotional songs about my past, and with this album, I was like, I'm in a place where I'm having fun. I want my lyrics to reflect that too. And Kiss is so fun and sexy and empowering, and so yeah, it's just like creatively it unlocked joy for me.
Yeah, and that is so evident in the music. I mean, it's not that deep as the album. As I say, by the time people see this, it'll be in their hands. They would have had a few days to kind of live with it, let it breathe, let it simmer. You know, first listen for me, from the start, I was like, this is a party. You get to Ghost, and I'll get to that soon, but then second listen and third listen, I'm honing in on those lyrics. I'm listening to what you're saying. You know, as you say, there are songs like Kiss, which are lighthearted and fun, but then songs like Here All Night, first listen, I'm dancing. Second listen, I'm like, whoa.
Thank you.
Did you question, I guess, or did you think about whether, I guess, the party energy of the album might eclipse the lyrical content, or was that duality kind of exactly what you were hoping for?
It was exactly what I was hoping for. There's songs like Sorry to Myself, too, which is another party moment, but has a really powerful message. And it also bridges the gap between my old music and my music today, lyrically, where it is a bit emotional. But I wanted something that was like, because it was a heavier song, I wanted a lighter sound sonically. And I think we did a great job of marrying the two with that song in particular. But Here All Night is the same thing. Here All Night is, it could be about, it's up for interpretation for many people, but for me, it's about a made up breakup. And it's emotional. And, you know, it's about someone that's really struggling through a breakup, but they're gonna dance on the dance floor until their heart gives out.
You know, I like how you mentioned, you know, made up breakup. I'm curious, do you find it easier to write through imagination and creating a scenario, or do you find it easier to write about something that's actually happened? Like,
well, I think I used to find it easier to write songs that were based off of things that actually happened. And so when I stepped into this era, I was like, wait, I can't just write, like, every song can't be like super sexy or super happy. I was like, I have to have some, you know, duality to it. And I wrote some songs on there, and Here All Night, one in particular, that is more emotional, and it was from a made up place, and it was fun. It was a new technique of writing for me where I stepped into a character and wrote from that point of view. Like, everyone always asks me, they're like, November 22nd, like, who ghosted you on November 22nd? And I was like, literally no one. Like, I just made it up. And it was fun. It was freeing for me to not be binded to a literal sense of what had happened to me in my past. It just was like stepping into a character today that gave me, more freedom.
You know, and you listen to this record and it's a new sound for you, but then there are throwbacks to, as you say, earlier work, and even songs like Ghost are like very much what your fans know you for.
Yeah.
But then at the end, when the song gets crazy, it it ties it back into this new sound. You know, from pop rock to R&B, back to pop and rock, and you've said that some have resonated more than others, but what drives these transformations for you?
I think what drives the transformations for me are literally what is inspiring me musically at the moment. And so I'm a fan of all genres of music pretty much, for the most part. When I was in my rock era, like, I was listening to a lot of rock music that was inspiring me, and now I went from, it was actually an interesting journey getting to this place today, sonically, where I went into this album thinking I'm gonna make an even harder rock album. Like, I wanna go even more rock.
Really?
So I started this process, and I realized, I was like, there's only so many happy rock songs that you can write. Like, I'm in love, I'm feeling empowered, and I'm in this like really great place, and I don't know how to write rock songs that are, all sunshine and rainbows, and there's only so many of that you can write. And so I was like, I need to switch up the genre. So I tried a couple other genres, but what was really inspiring me was all the pop girlies and the pop artists that are out there today. And so I started working with my producer Zone, and actually Kesha had a big part in the transformation of my sound, because I listened to her song Joyride and I was like, wait, that's really fire. And she was like, you should work with my producer Zone, which I have to give kudos to her. Like, not a lot of artists are willing to share people on their team with other artists. It was really, really cool of her to do that, and so supportive. And so I got into the studio with Zone, and Zone was like, I made this beat on the way over here in my Uber. Would you like to hear it? And I was like, yeah. And it was Frequency, what turned into Frequency. And so that was the first song of this album. And so I tried on different genres while trying to find the sound for this album, but when I heard the beat for Frequency, I was like, this is it.
It clicked, yeah.
It clicked, and that was a long-winded answer to your question.
No,
but
please.
I think what really drives me in the moment towards what I'm making musically is what's inspiring me. And I've been inspired by different genres at different times, but I think what's most reflective of my life today is pop.
I love how you said that Kesha kind of, got you in touch with her producer, and, you mentioned the gatekeeping kind of element of it. It's nice to hear that people are supporting you.
Oh my God, I've had so much support in this era, and in my life, in my career in general. Like, I've had so much support. I'm really, really grateful. It's really nice. I feel like it's so easy for artists to be competitive, but what I found, especially in this era, is like people just want to help each other and be supportive of one another. And like, I love seeing other artists build other artists up. Yeah. And it's just been really rewarding. Some of the people that have been super supportive are like Kesha, Kim Petras, Adela, and like it's been really cool to get that support.
Whenever you've done pop, your voice has kind of always been the main instrument in the song. But with a voice like yours, where you can do anything, how do you not overdo it? how do you know, oh, okay, now it's time for me to really belt, and now it's time for me to maybe bring it back? Like, how do you make those judgments? Because if I could sing like you, trust me, I wouldn't stop.
Thank you. I think a part of it is keeping in mind I'm gonna have to do this live. When I go on tour, I'm gonna have to hit all these high notes live.
Totally.
So like, when you're making a body of work that's going to be an album, you have to remember in the back of your head, like, you're gonna need breaks when you perform this live. Like, your voice is gonna need a moment to like chill. And I keep that in mind, but also it's about knowing what the song needs. Sometimes a song doesn't need a high note. Kiss didn't need a high note, you know what I mean? And there's other songs on the album that don't necessarily need all the vocal tricks and powerful belting that I do on Ghost or Let You Go. I know when a song needs that from me, and I also know when what my fans want from me. Like, if I were to give them a whole album of just Kiss, people would be like, where are the vocals?
Right.
If I were to give them an album of tons of vocals, I'd be exhausted vocally on tour. So it's about finding that balance.
Do you feel like you understand your own voice now more than ever?
Yeah, but I'm still learning. Like, I understand it now more than ever because I've been singing for so long, but I also am still learning a lot about my voice, and I'm far from perfect from anything, but especially my voice. Like, I know that I can get better. I know that I can control it more. I know there's more I can be doing to, you know, there's notes that I can't hit yet, and I'm still striving to hit those notes.
Well, let's talk about the tour, because you're doing it.
Yes.
You're doing it live, and I mean, we're at the rehearsal right now for the one night only at the Palladium. I've taken one look at the set list, hits after hits.
Thank you.
After hits. You know, the tour starts April 8th, turning arenas into clubs. Over 200,000 people, Demi, were in the Ticketmaster queue to buy tickets to this one night only. Mind you, this is a 4,000 capacity venue. What does that level of demand tell you about where you are in your journey right now?
Well, first of all, I cried when I saw that 200,000 people wanted to come to my show at the Palladium. Like, that's a dream that that was just a dream for me. Like, that was a dream come true. That level of demand is so reassuring, but also just like the gratitude that I have is like, I can't thank my fans enough. Like, I wouldn't be here in this place without them. And so I am just so thankful. And that's why I shed tears of joy that day, was because I was like, wow, I'm really sure of this album and I'm really sure of this era, but so many people are too, and that's really rewarding. And I can't wait to bring this show on the road.
You know, you said this era is a celebration of the journey that's brought me to where I am today. From that, I take away that the set list is going to be vast. It's going to be career spanning. When performing some of kind of, I guess, the deeper hits, the more meaningful hits that we were kind of touching on earlier, like when you sing Skyscraper, for example, but now you're happy and in a good place. When you were recording that, it was a bit of a tougher time. Does being in a good place, I guess, kind of change the delivery of the song or how you sing it in any way? Or can you somehow lock back into that? You know what I'm trying to say?
I can always lock back in to where I was when I recorded the song. And sometimes that's a very emotional place for me. Sometimes it brings me to tears while I'm on stage. But other times I could sing the song with a smile. I think my voice remembers, and it kind of like imprints the soulfulness of what I'm singing. It kind of like imprints it into what I deliver. And so if I'm singing Skyscraper, I could have a smile on my face, but you're gonna hear the pain in my voice because it was so meaningful to me then, and it still means so much to me now. I'm singing it from a different place, but it still has that same emotion.
Well, I am so excited for this era.
Thank you.
As I said, you deserve all of this.
Thank you so much.
It's been a long time coming, and I hope you are feeling all of this love that you're receiving. And yeah, the fans can't wait to see you on tour. I've got a rap. I could go on forever. You're fascinating. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.